What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations. And I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also host the only online conversation in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And through that collaboration last year, was able to be part of a team that reached out to over 100,000 fathers around the world. So as always, we like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Broadcasting January 31st. Ryan Knight, what's going on?
Yes, blessed and highly favored as well. I love that. And finally rocking some
finally your organization's t-shirt.
Our own organization, ACBN merch.
There we go.
Yes, for those that don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of aforementioned ACBN, the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, and also the co-executive director. We work with Black entrepreneurs to really figure out what stage they're in today and help them create a blueprint to grow their companies. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I run a company called Detailing Nights. We provide mobile waterless car cleaning, going to people's houses and their offices. And we are in the process of hiring. Literally February 1st is what we mark as recruitment go mode. So if you have a teenager or a young adult that is looking for a job, could be in school, could be out of school, definitely get them in contact with us. We'd love for them to work with us and also learn entrepreneurship at the same time. But what I wanted to jump off with was my weekend, because I was at a pop-up shop with my daughter. Sorry, go ahead.
We'll get to that in a second. We got a big announcement here. So folks,
great. Yeah.
Yes, you forgot about that. The two ladies are gonna get mad at you. So we are for the first time ever, kicking off Black History Month, which officially starts tomorrow, but we're kicking it off already in a number of ways. This episode is being sponsored today, and it is sponsored by the Keene Real Estate Group. And the Keene Real Estate Group is bringing on some great webinars this month called the Building Generational Wealth Through Real Estate series, being held on February 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th from 7 to 8 p.m. It's going to be online, and a little bit of background on it. Keene Real Estate is giving back two wonderful Black women, Kemba and Andrea, have built generational wealth, making millions investing in real estate, and they did it. And they are offering a free series to teach you how they did it. You can learn about finding capital, credit, places to buy, and leveraging your network. It's happening February 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th next month. You can also win free coaching. So each person who's watching this, especially if you look like us, deserves generational wealth. Would you agree with that, Ryan?
Absolutely.
So definitely. Now, if you want to find out more information, including how to register, the information is showing on your screen right here. So you can register. There's a link there. You can also call them at 647-370-5396. So there you go.
Is it 96 or 26?
26, sorry. 647-370-5326. So folks, we have the first time you're hearing this Morning Vibe, we have sponsors. And if you want to do any sponsorship on here, give us, let's say, what they say, holla at us. Holla
And
at
if
us.
those don't remember who Kemba and Andrea are, cycle back through some of our previous episodes.
Yeah.
We've had them on twice, so you can
Yes.
definitely learn more about their story and the great work that they're doing with now investment real estate.
Absolutely too. And you can go onto their Facebook page. The last time they were on, about 2 weeks, a little over maybe a week or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
The conversation is also on their Facebook page, and it's also on a number of the pages that we broadcast our content with. Now, Ryan, you can get to your weekend.
it was interesting because we were talking, I think last time, about Black History Month coming up and different organizations, because we had an ecosystem partner on. And so I'm at a pop-up shop with my daughter in Ajax, and at least 6 entrepreneurs came up to me and said, "Oh, so what's going on with the Bates program? What's going on with BBPA?" Because I promote it so much, I've become like the de facto spokesperson.
Why are you giving ammunition for our friend that's
Hey,
coming on in a few minutes?
It's on my mind
Because he's in the green room and he's got his hand over his mouth because I know he's grinning. So go on, Ryan.
It's interesting because I'm curious if you ever have people just come up to you and ask you about some stuff that's happening in the Black community. But of course, I'm gonna get these questions because I promote it so hard.
You're a media star. That's
well, and I still feel like it's the best grant out there for Black entrepreneurs. It's just we have to work on our communication between each other. People, we can't leave people in a lurch and just in the ether.
No,
so
you meaning leaving Black people in the black?
No, not in the black. Like, it's in the gray area. We don't want to be in the gray area.
Well, it's interesting that we may be having a very interesting person coming on the platform. We don't want to talk about it too much right now but we hopefully can get this person in regards to the Bates program on before the big media gets it. So I have to chat with Ryan, we're looking to have a conversation with this individual. They'll go nameless right now, but other than that, how was your weekend?
It was fantastic. I mean, got to spend a whole day with my daughter. We were promoting the Jazz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand book. Got to meet some other great young entrepreneurs, Chef Ayo, Adria, that wrote the book. She actually runs one of the bands in Caravana.
Okay.
I mean, she's, I think, 5 or 6 and total rock star. A lot of, just some great things happening. Crush Print was there, who was a supporter of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network from the beginning. So they're doing a lot of 3D printing and teaching youth how to 3D print and create their own products. So I thought that was wonderful. Right. But it was such a great event.
Excellent. Well, folks, as always, we're continuing till the end of next month. If you want to win a $25 Amazon gift card, or I keep it near me, because if I don't keep it near me, he'll get mad. They'll get mad at me. Frequency Event Productions, and actually, our friend that's on there, I think, is featured. So he's everywhere. He's not even
as he should be.
He hasn't even showed his face up yet, and we're already just showing him all around the place. Yes. But Frequency Event Promotions calendar, which features Black businesses throughout the Southern Ontario region. Please type in #TheMorningVibe on any platform that you're watching this on right now. Now, I have to put a little asterisk there. You can't do it. It won't show up on Twitter, and it won't do it on Twitch. But if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, please put it in. The people who know are already putting their #TheMorningVibe in.
Yes.
So tomorrow starts supposedly our month, right?
Yeah. Hey, we need to focus in and lean into our history. This month, I think, is a great time to do it. Are we using it as effectively as we could? That's up for debate, but I'm interested to see stuff that's happening.
And this is why we bring our good friend, because once in a while he sparks debate. He likes a little debate once in a while. I have him giggling in the background. So he is shaky. He said he's probably going to now drop on in the back in the green and say, "I ain't coming on. No way." But how can I say, backed by popular demand, because the last time he was on, we had incredible feedback and
Super
incredible
popular.
views
Yes.
during this conversation. And hey, he's got his hand. And you know what? I'm even going to see if I can poke him to see if he can come on once a month and just chop it up with us. See if he's up for that.
That'd be awesome.
But he's in so demand because he's a CM now, right? We can't afford the CMs, right? I'm going to bring up while he's holding his head, right? You see, I got him. Robert Small, the creator of the official Black History Month legacy.
I was going to erase that CM there before I come on. But no, I'd be scrambling to take it off,
Oh, how you doing this morning, Robert?
I'll fully admit I had to make a power play or two once with that CM issue because people wouldn't put it on, and I'm going, why can't you put it on, right? So,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't allow it not to be on. So, you are worthy of it and absolutely fantastic. What's been going on? What's been going on since we last spoke with you?
Whoa, yeah, lots been going on, So the big, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but tomorrow the Bank of Montreal is going to be having a miniature version of my poster in all their branches across Canada. So heads up.
Congratulations.
Right?
That's huge.
So we're bringing it, right?
Now is it now? Here's another question: is that just for the month, or is it going to be consistently in their branches?
Well, come on, bro. Yeah, like, I'm only one person, right? There are 1 million Black people. What the hell are they doing? They're asking me to okay, yeah, that's good enough, but more, right? Yeah, exactly. No, think about what? Tell you the truth, the Bank of Montreal has been very supportive. In 2007 they did the exact same thing. I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be printing the miniature version I created for them, and I'm going to be handing out 1,000 copies to Black community organizations across the country for those who ask. And depending on how the reviews I get back from it, they'll do it again for the next 3 years.
Excellent. Hey, we're asking, can we get our copies? ACBN.
There you go.
One of the line.
And anyone who emails me and asks for some, the only thing I ask you to do, you don't have to, is just pay. You don't even have to pay for the shipping, really, because I'll send you 20 or whatever, right? But I do need you to get to send me back a letter saying what you used it for, and why is it personally useful.
I like it. Right?
No,
this $5 post that I put on it. Can you just do that? I would appreciate it.
Yeah, no, this is good. And we've spoken with Robert before we went live today, and we're gonna contribute to that and see if we can give some away to some of our viewers all around the world, not just here in Canada. So that's good. But so let me just ask, how did the Bank of Montreal collaboration come about?
Well, it came about for an executive there, Stanley Julian, who was
he's
on the before.
Yeah,
right?
Stanley Junior's been a champion for a long time. I know that name.
Yeah, and you know what? When you started off saying that this is our month, we need to really think of it as our month and claim things for ourselves and push forward. And that especially means the Black executives at a lot of these institutions. The one thing I find sometimes is that some of them have a title, but they don't have too much power, right? So they may be able to talk to you about Black empowerment, but they're not able to execute it, right? So I think that we really have to put their foot to the fire to advocate for these things, because it's one thing to have programs that are supposed to be affecting Black people, but in execution they're not, or they get stalled, and there's other problems. Because working within the Black community is more than just being a Black person. Yes. You have to have experience working with other Black people. It requires a specific skill set. As you would know, Dr. Vibe, you've been doing this program and media for 28 years. You can see that there's been many people that have come and gone.
Sure.
The Black community, and their willpower was their will was there to do it, but they don't have the willpower to execute it. And oftentimes, and Ryan, I came into your office and you were even power economics and stuff like that. You know, like if I mention power economics, not do people even have a clue of what we're referring to. So with respect to the BAIDs and these other programs, there's nothing stopping them from telling, hey, if you're going to apply for this economic program, you have to read this chapter of power economics. You have to watch this video of sorry, your speaker again, speaking at
Dr. George Fraser.
George Fraser.
George
Oh
Fraser.
Yeah.
God damn, there is nothing stopping you from saying that, hey, if you're a Black person, you need to know why you're applying for this. The main reason can't be just because I want to get a lot of money for my business. But the real objective, and that's why these things fail, is because they don't have a wider purpose, right? They have a very short-term gain, and that's just to throw out the money. And hey, once you get the money, do what you want with it. That's a short-term objective.
True.
The objective is to empower the Black community. You say, hey, if I'm going to empower the Black community, I have to educate the Black community about why they need to be empowered. That you need to be empowered as a business so you can employ people in your own family, so you're not thinking that the government is responsible for increasing the low employment rate in our community. No, the government, the bottom line is that employment within individual communities is the responsibility of that community primarily. Because the expectation is that, hey, if you have a restaurant, who are you going to hire? Your family. What color are your family if you're Black? Right? But if everybody's working 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship is so low in the Black community, that's why Ryan's initiatives are so needed, that where the employment rate is always going to be low.
Absolutely. And touching on the ability to grow those companies, because look, if unemployment among our youth is 10,000 of them, and we had a McDonald's type restaurant in our community, we would solve our own unemployment problem with our own business.
Exactly, because they wouldn't have to go to McDonald's and have to.
Exactly, it's all
and they would have the hookups to get there, right?
You know, it's interesting, Robert. You're making me think about, and maybe we don't need to chat about this offline, having a course going through each chapter of Powernomics by Claude Anderson, making that a course.
So come on, Ryan.
If I'm gonna do it, there's another book too, The Blueprint for Black Power by Dr. Wilson, Amos Wilson.
Hey,
Next time you hear like Black people saying, "Oh, we got $20 million from the government," I go, "Yeah, what books have you read specifically on Black empowerment?"
Right.
Or are you just Black?
Yes, yes.
And you want to be empowered because you want to get a Porsche in your driveway. Right?
that you're leasing, you don't own.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And I pay by day.
But no, I
love the incorporation of that.
I really think that would be value in that course. Like having a course with that. Now, there is a certain gentleman, I won't mention his name, who's actually doing it online. He's going through it. He's going through the whole book. He actually is going through the book of Black Labor, White Wealth, which is another book by Claude Anderson.
Right.
That I highly recommend people, if you really care about Blacks, you read those two books.
Yeah, and I'd like to once again mention what you just said. If you really care about Blacks, there was a quote by Martin Luther King that said that the poor often have love for Black people. Poor Black people usually have love for the poor among us, but the rich have the power, but they don't have the love for us. Right? When you have that quote time and time again, like seeing what happens, it's no wonder that a lot of people who have power aren't really executing things to the ground level. That they're often their programs cater to like a middle class Black persona and upwards, but it never gets to the more impoverished among us, and that is the central problem, right? We need initiatives that that educate everybody all at the same time and push us all forward. But we're not just creating programs that cater to a specific economic level and up, right? And that's what I find is a drastic problem in our community too.
Hayton Morrison saying, "Preach, brother Robert, preach."
Sorry, say again.
Hayton is saying, "Preach, brother Robert, preach."
Exactly, I'm on a roll, man. You know, 30 minutes, but it might be 30 or 40. Right?
Hey, we will take anything you have to share. Tim Frey is saying, "Good morning, everyone. Great to see Robert on here." Sheraton Knight is saying, "Good morning." Again, more jobs are saying Powernomics, right. Absolutely. And I think we have baby showers, but we have to have new business showers.
Yeah, you know, and I did want to put a plug in for Ryan's event that's coming up with Dr. Fraser, because if you watch that podcast and hear Dr. Fraser, you'll realize that the initiatives that are happening in the Black community have gaping holes in them. Right. Gaping holes in them. And the gaping hole, he probably outlined 10 things that Black people should do that we're not doing at all. Like our networking events would basically get into a room and talk to each other, right? And then throw your business cards around and then leave, right? But no, there's a lot more that we can do with the guarding. Like if there's, and going back to real estate, what is stopping 20 real estate agents from working together, purchasing a building, and just working on that? Oh, we're
going in today. So I'm gonna. I haven't had my three. I haven't done my three for a while. Sisters. Again,
yeah, exactly.
Trauma, repetition, symbolism, and the big and as I keep on saying periodically, the biggest wealth the Blacks have is in their family.
Yeah. Exactly.
And too many times we have trauma within our family members that stops us building generational wealth.
Oh yeah.
And actually more job says, yes, Claude Anderson is still alive. He's 83 years old. He's not moving around too much, but he still is alive. And actually last week I had a conversation with the last person in Canada that had an interview with him, a lady named L.A. Wade. She interviewed him a few years ago, and all she did was call up, and his wife answered, and within 10 minutes he said, "Sure, I'll get Claude on." But if anyone again cares about Black people, go on YouTube, put Dr. Claude Anderson in. Enough said. Continue.
Yeah, and we say the one thing I've learned over 28 years is care for Black people doesn't mean your family and your friends, right? It also means, you know, especially creating this poster, it also means Black people that you can't stand personally. Right? Like you have to continue doing it, knowing that it's benefiting them, and you're fine with that, even though they might be opposed to what you're doing or opposed to you personally, right? You know, it's a deeper level type of thing that you feel it. And, you know, there are many times when I was working with Black youth, I can remember when I took a trip, I brought, you know, here I am. This is my gripe session right here. I took like 30 Black youth on free trips to Halifax, Nova Scotia, Detroit, Michigan, and Chicago, Illinois. They didn't pay nothing for it, right? And this was like 15 years ago. And they were griping on every trip. I'm hungry. Oh, this hotel room ain't nothing, right? And stuff like that. And I'm like shaking my head. I go, you know what? 20 years from now, you'll realize that no Black kid has experienced what you're experiencing right now. So like,
you know what would be interesting, Robert? It would be interesting if you had a chance to speak. Do any of them keep in touch with you?
Oh yeah, a lot of them keep in touch with me, and it's funny. They come back. I got my validation now, 20 years later,
right?
Because they go that, yeah, you know what, Rob? Those trips that you took us on, when I would talk about them to my friends, and they didn't know what I was talking about.
Right.
Yes. This was just a natural thing that everybody did, right? So I go, yeah, exactly. You were griping about that soul food restaurant that I took you to, soul food restaurant in Detroit, saying, "Oh, this chicken is too greasy."
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm dashing out $800, hoping that, you know, I tell enough money before I left, right? You know.
Yes,
Oh,
with the
so
investment
actually, see,
is so
people are
key.
asking questions. So there's a question: how was that trip funded? That one you were just speaking about.
Bank of Robert. Tell me it's a lie.
It's partly true. Because
Okay.
what happened is that I was working at the YMCA, right? One of the trips, they're all funded. There are different parts. There are the YMCA that funded a trip, right? And just to tell, when I went to Halifax, the YMCA, and you know what? You should everybody on this platform, they should look and go to the YMCA International Exchange Program, I think it's called, but it's exchange program, and the YMCA Black Achievers Program, which is operating again.
Yes.
They, after like a 10-year hiatus and stuff, even more actually.
Yes,
But,
more than that.
but the exchange program that the YMCA has is that if you're a church group or a Black organization or organization, period, and you want to go to another part of Canada, they'll pay for your flight. They'll pay for the accommodations if they can't. You can't find you a partner organization. So what happened several years ago, and I'm talking like 15 years ago, with respect to this trip, is that I found a Black organization in Halifax, and we did an exchange where 30 of our students went to Halifax, and 30 Halifax students came here, right? And it was definitely experience on both sides, because I can remember us going to a church up at Young Bathurst and Finch. I think it was Rona actually when they operated out of the school there, and we were taking the Halifax students, and this is how I knew how Toronto I was, right? And everybody from Toronto, because the Halifax students came on the subway. All of a sudden, I start hearing and a beat, right?
Yeah.
So I look over, and all of them start beating on the seats, and start singing. And we're not singing like slightly; we're singing like loud, like about 10 or 50 people, right?
Yes.
So I'm getting all Toronto on them. I go, and I kind of jab the representative there. I go, what are they doing? They're actually talking on the subway.
Right, yeah. Don't they know we just stand here silently?
We stand on the subway and act like robots up in here, right? And I go, why are they so like happy? What's happening, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, no, that in Nova Scotia there are no subways, so with a lot of them, this is the first time they've actually been on the subway before in their life, right?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, okay, right?
Wow.
So yeah, so it was very interesting event, excursion back both there and us going there. Because we went there, and our students were saying, "Oh, this food doesn't have any like seasoning on it," and just the comparisons between how each of us danced were interesting to the students. In addition to that, visiting all the communities, the Black communities in Nova Scotia, where there, certain Black communities, it's just Black people in those communities, right? So, and a lot of the houses, some of the houses were on stone blocks.
Oh, nice.
Right? So they were saying, wow, like these houses are on stone blocks, like back home in Jamaica or Barbados or stuff like that. Like we're in Canada, right? I go, yeah, but so it's definitely interesting. And consequently, I always say to people that working in the Black community, you'll never be bored. Okay. Like,
yes.
You'll have more experiences working in the Black community than ever have at a 9-to-5. I'll tell you that.
Robert, want to great comments and coming from our audience as per usual live. OMG, please let's not gloss over the point of working with other Blacks, even if you don't like them. You want to go a little bit deeper on that one? Because you never had that experience before, right?
Oh, no, of course not. I just get all love. Yeah. I'm proclaiming now that there's some Black people I can't stand, okay? Right. But I still wish them that they achieve. I wouldn't stand in the way. I wouldn't try, basically that they probably just have to get forward without me, right? But I know that what I'm doing is, as I would hope that what I'm doing is helping their children in different ways, and I know that, so it's not something that there's a difference between Robert personal versus the professional, but sometimes they collide. Like even this week it collided, right? So
yes.
yeah, whereas they're going, yeah, but that person is talking negatively about me, but you want me to host an event with them?
Why would I help? Right.
Yeah, and they're actively doing it, right? So like I don't even know who they are half of the time, right? So one thing, going back to the whole skill set aspect, that's different than working with a white organization or a 9-to-5. Like, you have the luxury of like knowing that you're never going to come into contact with that person at your job that you can't stand. But working in the Black community, oftentimes you'll be meeting that same person in different ways.
Yeah, right? You're going to be crossing paths.
Yeah, so you have to put your own personal feelings aside for the greater good, and that's what I have to do. Just even yesterday, right? Just saying that, look, I'll do it, but I'm doing it begrudgingly, right? And stuff like that. So I might throw a little personal jab.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm creative, and they know what I'm talking about, but no one else knows. Is that wrong? So.
Robert, I wanted you to do some reflection with us. You mentioned how many, going back, you were doing stuff with the YMCA, etc. Compare the Robert of then to the Robert of today.
You know what? I'll link our last conversation with that question, right? The Robert of the past, when there was two instances when people were actively creating a poster and trying to make it a Black History Month poster and making it as close to mine as possible, right? Like I used to call it the official Black History Month poster, and people used to try making their poster look like mine, getting an artist that has a similar style. They would put on the people that I had last year to confuse it more. I can remember there was this white guy in North York. I was like 25, and he was trying to tell me like what I should do with a poster and who I should put on. And then I said to him, hey, you know what? Like, and back when I was 25, I was kind of more rebellious because I was juiced off a Louis Farrakhan tape. So any white guy trying to tell me what to do, I thought it was like a validation of what I was told, right? You see that? Yeah.
I would love to see some pictures from back then. and I know you have some, so I got to work on you to take a look at those.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun being the angry Black guy, right? So needless to say, I felt I had to tell him straight, right? So I told him that, look, like you're not my boss over this poster. Like I'm the one that makes it. Right. And whoever I put on is whoever I put on, right? But I'll take your suggestions like I do everybody else. But that's basically it. So I tell him that, and he liked his Black people subordinate, right? So I knew he wasn't liking that coming from a guy who's 20 years younger than him.
Yes.
So he goes and tells me, that if you don't do it my way, I'll get another Black person to do it how I want it done.
Whoa.
Right? So I go, huh? Right? So I say that, hey, go for it. And this happened like in March and April. I forgot about totally until the next year, right? So I said to him, but then he got his Black person, right? And he got a Black artist that he's probably throwing $200 to make a piece of a poster competing against mine. But the thing about it is that I was doing it in black and white at that time, and his was in color. So I go, oh crap, man! Like people will buy theirs just over that. But I got so heated over this white person trying to commandeer my stuff. Because once again, with the old Louis Farrakhan stuff, it was even more validation of what I was reading at the time, right? So I was really amped and stuff. I go, hell no, I'm going to let this guy win. So prior to them actually going to the school boards prior to them going to school boards to ask them to buy their poster, I phoned up every school board that same day, right, and got them to buy mine. So by the time
Yes.
2 weeks later, when they went and tried talking, they said, "Well, we've already bought Robert, so we don't need two, right?" And stuff like even those issues in color, this is in black and white. That was it. So needless to say, if you the next year I made it in color, just to make sure that no one could get in front of me again. But how I would react now, I think I'd be a lot more tempered. I actually say to myself that, well, there's no need to be even registering that they're making a poster, because they don't know that if they make one poster, they're not competing against my individual poster. They're competing against all 28 that I've made. So them actually making a poster is actually helpful to me, because people on the street would think I've made 29, but I've really made 28, right? Because wherever my poster is, they're just adding to my aura. They're not taking away from it. So I think I'd be a little bit more confident now than I was before. So that's the major difference about it.
Excellent.
And the school board can afford two. Like, they can afford multiple pieces of art for Black History Month.
Yeah, but at that time it was an area of like, we got all of that one black.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for some reason, I thought the best black person would be me, right? So yeah.
Yeah, you proved it through. Yeah.
The thing about it is that for me, if it was, and I've always had this belief that if it was another young black person creating a poster, that's different, right? Like, I wouldn't care, right? But because it was someone from outside of my community who I know threatened me directly, right, and executed what they threatened me about, like, I couldn't respect that poster or the black people that rallied behind it, or the black people that mentioned his name to me even this very day, because I go, hey, you know what? Like, he was just doing it to go up to the prime minister's office and like have that I'm helping black people moment, right?
Right.
But he didn't have any love for black people in general, and because if he did, he would have done a different idea. But he purposely did that idea in order to jab at me directly and to sabotage that poster and the angry black guy that I was at the time, even now sometimes, right? Right? That I said, no, that is not going to happen, right? And I was thinking about our community involved, and when I think about now, like how many different black organizations or black businesses that are doing something educational for our community that they are totally in control of, right? So and controlling our image and controlling our story. And when I think about that, the BASE program, all these other programs, ultimately a white person is in charge, right?
True.
If I give my children money, I'm in control of how much money I give to my children. I can give them, if they want to buy a PlayStation, and the PlayStation costs $1,000, and I give them $900, they have to get that $100 from somewhere else, and I know that already, right? If I give them more, I go, hey, if I give them $1,100, and I know it's more, I'm giving them more money than they need, then I still know that they should be able to buy this poster, buy this PlayStation. And oftentimes funding is the same way, that they give you less than what you're supposed to get, and they fully well know that this is probably going to go bottom up, because their estimate, the estimates that people gave in the application are significantly less than what's really needed. So
that.
Yeah. So the one thing,
budget estimates. Yeah.
And the other, while I'm on the roll now, Dr. Vibe, right?
Go for it. Giving you space, man. Do your thing.
Shut up and just sell posters. Yeah. But the bottom line is that with some of these programs, we oftentimes, unfortunately, we have people who have good intent, but they don't have the experience to do what they're doing, right? And when someone creates a program that's going to be nationwide, serious questions have to be asked. Have you had experience doing an initiative on a province-wide level, at local level, for the Black community, and hasn't been successful? If you can answer no, you have no business doing a program on a national level. No business. If you got, and that these are just the questions that you ask if you applied for IBM, Kodak, the Tropicana, anywhere. They're going to ask you, what experience do you have? And oftentimes with these people, they have no experience before they get 20 million. They have no experience when we're going to build a center for the Black community, and we want like a barbershop in there, a movie theater,
Yes.
a domino table, right? That's 20 feet long, like I've actually heard those first two initiatives actually.
I believe it.
Right? And I'm in the back and I'm going, holy fuck. Like, I'm serious. I'm going like, who are you? Right? Who are you? I was so enraged, and I summoned my angry Black man to say,
I love that. I summoned my angry
right.
I say,
You gotta catch it.
How this looks. I'm gonna ask this guy a question, right? Ask, okay, you want to build this credit union. How much? Oh, you don't have to say which credit union.
Okay, good.
Right? I don't know where that idea is now, but anyways, right? So I asked him, how many years have you had, like, in the financial field? Sure, quite a while. Why do you ask that? Like, what? That's a basic question.
Right. Fundamental.
My boy says that he has had 2.
Oh.
In my mind, I'm going, isn't that just 1 year above 1?
Yes.
I think we can end the program now.
Right?
I'm sorry. This is why you have to come on once a month at minimum. At minimum.
And you want to take care of Natty's like financial fund and and Sade Johnson's lunch money. Like, are you insane?
Right. Like, how are you gonna sell that to people? Like that won't work, right?
And you actually have the audacity to be in front of people and be proud to say 2.
Right.
And it's for white organizations too. I'm going, like, once again, it requires a different skill set to market things for Black people, right?
Absolutely.
And once again, I think what we give a lot of people too much leeway. And I even had this conversation with somebody else. I had to summon my angry Black man to just tell them straight that, look, you can't afford to give people chances just because you feel that Black people need to give a chance. They have to earn it, right? Because we can't keep the standards low and then be surprised.
Well, if we keep the standards low, we're just setting ourselves up for failure.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, and you know what? And the sad thing is, a lot of these white people that give us money, they know it already. They know before they give the money. So, hey, we want to administer the money to our organizations. They're going, what experience do you have doing this on a national level? That's what they're saying in their mind.
Yes.
Because they're thinking about it on an emotional level, right? But you're thinking on an emotional level, your mentality, and they know it, is that so they're operating on an emotional level, and they say we want to be in control of our destiny. But yes, that's true. But you need to have the experience to be able to do that. Yeah, and
right.
But before we go any further,
absorb the responsibility of representing Black people, and you don't have experience representing Black people on a national level either.
So before we go any further, just 2 quick things. First of all, again, you're watching our segment with Robert Small, soon to be a monthly feature. 'Cause
Every time I got here, you put me on the spot. Right?
yeah, but we love to have you on, and you like being on. So don't give me that pushback, man. But
I should have gone 20 minutes, now it's going on a half an hour or more, right? So
there we go. And also, anyone, if you'd like to win $25 Amazon gift card, or would you like to win Frequency Event Promotions calendar, please put in hashtag the morning vibe on whatever platform you're watching, except Twitter or Twitch, and you can qualify to win. Also, Robert, you're so great about chatting about everything else, but we want you to chat about this year's poster. You haven't got to that yet, man. Like, so let's put
my mouth and everything. I should be just locking products and everything, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about this year's poster. Give us some background, who's featured on it, etc.
Here, I decided that I needed a break. I needed a break from actually featuring my artwork on there, and I wanted to give the platform to another person. So this year, that image that's in the middle is actually a piece of artwork created by a Nigerian artist and architectural designer, by the way, and Afrofuturistic artist, Komi Olof. So that picture is the middle. There's various people, and the whole theme of it is the future. So I really spent a lot of time thinking how I can make this poster futuristic. And the one way I did it is by putting QR codes on the poster. So if the black youth, your child or student, or even students in general, go up to the poster and scan it with their phone, it'll actually take them to that person's website.
Nice.
It's in both English and French. People can order it off of my website, www.thelegacyposter.com, and it's featuring Sharon Douglas, who's Order of Canada recipient, Dominique Neri, who's a sculptor, and she's in the bottom right-hand corner. Isaac.
Left-hand corner.
Sorry.
On my screen, anyways.
Left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Not the bottom left-hand corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Komi Olof, who's in the middle. Claudette McGowan, who's in the top right-hand corner. And she's a cybersecurity expert.
Yes.
And you can see her podcast, C-Suite. It's online. And last but not least, Anand Lololi. And he's a food security advocate. And we have to talk about food security in our community. And food security basically is the problem related to food to find affordable food and foods that's nutritious. And that's definitely a problem within the Black community, because many of the programs in the morning that you find at schools and everything, our community members are there. I can remember actually allowing my daughter to go to where was it? To a summer camp that was located in Scarborough, and I would give her the roti that I made the other day.
Yes, home cook. Yes, Chef Robert.
Stuff like that, because that's how I grew up, type of thing, right?
Yes.
So I felt insult. I would feel bad if I sent her there with go to McDonald's and stuff like that, right? So the one thing that she told me after the summer camp was over was that she said, you know what, Dad, the most I was kind of embarrassed. Why would you feel embarrassed, right? What were you embarrassed about? And she goes, yeah, because sometimes when I would go there, they would be coming to see what I brought for lunch, right? Because a lot of them were given popcorn in a bag to eat for lunch from their parents, right?
Oh,
and they were shocked. They were shocked to see what I was getting, right? And I was kind of going, right? Because once again, catering to a middle class mentality, thinking that that our experience is 2 digits away from everybody else's. These kids were getting popcorn for lunch every day, right? So we need to educate our community about the issues related to food, especially after this pandemic. When if you had the money, then you can run to the store and grab up as much food to stock for 2 months and buy toilet paper that would last a year, and then go in your basement. What the hell do I buy this old toilet paper for, right? So you have the luxury and the money to be able to do that. but that's not the case with everybody, right? So especially members of our community. So imagine if there really was an issue related to food where all of us had to buy, food to last us for a month, there would be many in our community that would die as a result of that. So we really have to think crucially about uplifting the impoverished among us, as well as the blacks who are wealthy and have a lot of money, right?
True.
If the blacks have a lot of money, and inform them, hey, there are like many things that you should read on before you think that your money can solve anything, because it's not really an issue of how much money you have, how much money you throw down to people. It's what the people at the bottom do with that money, right? Towards our community. So a real plan has to be executed, not just beg the government for money. Give us money and we'll give it to them, and that's the end of it. Like that really is the extent of the plan, right? And anybody that says that that's not true, you can put that in the line.
Okay. Well, just want to catch up. There's been a whole amount of comments, so got to catch up. So Hayden is saying building our community is so much more important than personal feelings. True that. Charmaine is saying the fight is real, Robert. Your commitment to the greater good approach is commendable. Sophia from Ottawa, Sophia Jacob. Good morning, Robert. Big up.
Yeah.
All right. More jobs, Robert. I think your next gig is comedy. Chris Rock, move over.
I'm taller than Chris Rock, so just by my height.
Sophia also thinks, oh, yes, please have Robert in with you folks monthly. There you go. She's also saying we'd love to see Robert's poster be the thing to win throughout Black History Month. We talked about that. We're going to be working on that. More jobs is saying African food basket elder Anand. So this is good.
Exactly, right?
We've got, okay, let's go.
And you know what? And going back to the whole like empowering our community from the ground up. Let's just say up, but just across. I should really say across economic boundaries. Like I've really felt that, and that's why Anand's been on my Facebook profile for the last year and a half, and nobody else, right? Because I think that amongst everything, that all the people that I profiled, like what Anand's trying to do is so important with respect to food security and such a dire issue within our community. And I felt proud, like if anything that I do advances what he's trying to do specifically. Yeah.
Got a question here for Robert. Where do you see the Black business community in Toronto in 5 years? And I also would like Ryan to answer that one too.
Right.
I have to go now.
Oh yeah, you do have to prep for your 10:30, right?
Yeah, I do have to go, but yeah, so it'll be good timing.
Yeah. So well, end off with this, Robert. We will let you go.
Oh, okay. So you're bumping.
No, well, I thought you. I don't know if you're being real or sarcastic. I don't know, but you can stay. You can stay on as long as you want. We make room for you, man.
Big messages now. But I think that if we remain with the mindset that we have right now, the Black community will be the same place that we are now.
Right.
Not in a worse situation. With Kathleen Wynne, through the Ontario government, threw so much money at the Black community, and that wasn't rewarded with votes for her afterwards. So people can say that, oh, I don't like Kathleen Wynne, right? But you don't have to don't think so basic. Like you are looking for people that are going to advocate your personal interest, right? And the other parties that see that and go, hey, you know what? Kathleen Wynne threw so much money at the Black community and they didn't reward her with votes. So why should I give you anything?
True.
And that's just common sense. So really and you'll have a harder time getting money from other political organizations just because you didn't reward you were an ingrate to the political party that actually did.
Right.
So consequently, with regard to the Black community, I love them. They're individual people. Personally, I think that they're great and everything, but they're sorely lacking in education about Black empowerment from a Black perspective. If you mentioned Claude Anderson, to many of them, they will not know who the hell you're talking about. If you mention George Fraser, they won't know who the hell that guy is. If they listen to either of them, they've never listened to either of them, right? But you're in charge of empowering Black people in the Black business community. Like, get out of here. You just lost your job at RBC and now you want to be the grand room of Black people. Like, that's why we're a lot of it, that we're in a mess. Anybody on this call, when you talk next to these Black community leaders, you ask them, if you even doubt what I say, ask them directly, how well read are you on Black economic upliftment from a Black perspective? What Black authors that have you read on Black empowerment? That's a basic question.
And I have written it down because that is a great question to ask. And it touches on what you're saying with Dr. George Fraser. One of his most famous videos is talking about we're all just dots doing our own thing and there's no power there. The power is in connected and communicating and understanding how to empower each other. But right now, if we stay on this path, 5 years from now will be the exact same as the last 50 years.
Oh, yeah. Because there are 3 different organizations that said that they're coming to help Black people last year or a year and a half. What upliftment has happened?
And seen anything, exactly.
And once again, that's like just a basic question. Like, what has happened? Like, more people know me with me funding this poster out of my own pocket, and all those 3 organizations combined that got millions. Like,
that?
So, yes. Robert, I've got an interesting question for you, Robert. Have any of those organizations you're referring to ever approached you to purchase or support you?
No, they've never phoned me.
You see that?
There's only one that has, right? So I can't say who that is, but
I agree. I understand.
There is, right? So yeah.
Wow.
So that's a C. That's not a 0, right?
Right.
So
barely passing grade.
Just so that they know that I'm recognizing it, right?
Right.
Yes.
I have to pay heed to my corporate masters too, right? So.
All right. Here's another question, Robert. Before you go, what can we do away from government funding, or I guess get away from government funding?
Well, once again, we're relying upon government funding because we always want government funding, but if we got government, there's nothing wrong with getting government funding, but once again, there's no plan to be self-sufficient, right? If you get government funding and the objective is to be self-sufficient after you get the 20 grand, after you get the 200 grand, goddamn, after getting 5 million, you better be self-sufficient, right?
Right, leverage it.
The hell are you going back to the government after, and you're still like operating out of your basement in like Thornhill, right?
Yes.
After you just got 500 grand, $1 million, right? There's nothing stopping the major organizations in the black community here from saying, hey, rather than renting out these individual facilities, why don't we just buy one building? On 2 floors are the services that we offer. We rent out the 3rd or 4th level to Black businesses and stuff. So this is like an empowerment hub, literally, and Ryan's doing something on his own, for God's sake. By one individual guy, he's doing that in Brampton, right? So if he came along just 7 or 8 years ago or whatever, maybe I'm underrating you, Ryan, but he has that initiative because he's read the material that's necessary. So he knows that renting somewhere as a Black community would be contradictory to his message, right? Forever, right? So even though he may have to rent now, but he's putting the pieces in place to empower other people. because he can't afford the whole building by himself, a $5 billion building. But our organizations who have got money directed to them over 20 some odd years, this should have happened a long time ago, a long time ago.
Right, and especially leveraging the organizations that do have a building to then say, how do we amplify that and then continue to get more buildings? So hopefully that conversation can start.
Well, again, I'm going to go back to it. All starts. Got to get rid of the community trauma.
I'm going to talk for like 2 minutes and I'll come back on, but I do have to address something. Okay.
No problem. We'll still be here if you want to come back. No problem.
Okay, no, I'll say a proper goodbye, but someone's
okay.
My daughter's at the door coming to help.
No problem. Look, we will let you go. We'll definitely have you back, and we'll make sure we put all your contact information on the screen. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, if the 1.5 million Black people in GTA just spent $15 on one poster for their own kid, right? Not for me, your own kid, right?
Yes.
I'd be a millionaire yesterday, right? So we have to summon the will to want to empower our own community by our own hands or by other people's hands within our community. And once we have that mindset, you wouldn't care about racism and stuff like this because you would have incubated yourself away from it. As I work for myself, no one can fire me.
That's right.
So exactly. I'm incubated from racism in the workplace because guess what? I'm the one in the workplace.
Right. You built your own.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what other communities know, right? So you don't hear them talking about racism in the workplace as much as we do, right?
We have to realize that racism is a system. And if you don't combat a system with a system, you're not going to win.
Yeah. It's something that's ongoing. You cannot get rid of it because in a capitalist society, they need racism to keep you away from resources that they want. So it's not like I think we look at racism like some people are supposed to wake up tomorrow and realize, you know what, I've been wrong all this time, right?
Yes. Maybe have the epiphany
because God wouldn't like me this way. No, God actually wants you to do that. Them to do that.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah, and you're collectively wasting your time talking to them, really. Wow. The educational system knows that these books do not include the education that you acquire. They just don't care. That's why you're still talking about it 10 years later. Right. They're not. The director of the not TDSB, but any Durham district school board got a master's degree. For God's sake, he or she knows that putting a book Tom Sawyer in front of you that has the word nigger 100 times hurts your feelings. He got a master's degree, for God's sake. You think he doesn't know that? You think the teacher doesn't know that? You think the principal doesn't know that?
They know it.
You think the associate directors don't know that? They know that. It's basic knowledge. They just don't care or care enough, right?
True.
I ran that, man. I gotta get out of here.
All right, Robert. Take care, my brother. Be well. Keep the faith.
Well, fight the power, brother.
All right. Next time you come on, we'll play Fight the Power, but we may have copyright infringements. We'll find a way of getting around it. All right, my brother. We'll be in touch. Take care, brother.
Okay, see you later, man.
Bye-bye. Was that an energetic Monday morning?
Once a month, that it got validated. Everybody's like, no, we have to have that conversation more often.
Absolutely. And, I just thought about it. I don't know if people notice, but this conversation is hosted by two Black men.
It is.
And we have been hosting it for a while. We're coming up to a year coming up soon. We're coming to our year anniversary. And
it'll be March, right?
Yes.
March a year? Wow.
I would put it out there that I don't know if there's a twice a week online conversation that's hosted by two Black Canadian men. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Robert's contact information is there for those who definitely want it. And we are certainly, as we mentioned during the conversation and on the front end, we're going to look to see if we can do some giveaways of the poster during this month coming up, starting tomorrow. So
I think we definitely will make that happen.
I think Robert will give us licks if we don't do that. So all good. So what do you think of the conversation, man?
Oh, it's fantastic. And again, that's where you capture a little bit more of the history when you get to talk to our elders. With that work that he'd been doing with the exchange, I had no idea, one, that even existed, and two, that he had done it. And to get to learn more about it, it only comes out through conversation, right? Until he writes his memoir and his autobiography.
There you go.
Yeah.
So before we're going to start winding it down now. Also, again, one last call out. If you'd like to win Amazon gift card or calendar, please type in hashtag The Morning Vibe on your platform that you're watching, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, especially. Type in hashtag The Morning Vibe, press enter, and you will qualify for the draw of either winning a calendar featuring Black business owners or a gift card or both. So you have a good chance of winning today. So I'd like to see at least one more entry. That would be great. Just to give some highlights. Once I get another entry, we'll go with a giveaway. But other comments here. Frequency event promotions. Robert Small, the walking legendary. Yeah, I think he'd like that term.
Yes.
What else? Okay. We have, well, folks, now we're serious because Charmaine has typed in The Morning Vibe. What else we have? Macmillan Group, great conversation. Thanks for sharing your insight, Robert. Yeah, we are. I'm going to, on the back channels, request if Robert can come on once a month. If Ryan will give us room to get any people on, because Ryan has booked us pretty solid for the next little bit. Ryan, who are some of the people that have shown interest, just off the top of your head, and then we'll get into the draw?
Ooh, good question. I know, Wayne Harris. There's been people from the ecosystem. So Tanya Williams is supposed to come on. Who else? David and Olu from the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance. And well, David's from Y Space, that's part of York University. And Olu is from the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance. Ooh, who else?
Yeah, David from the York is confirmed, I believe. Let me just take a look at the calendar here. February 18th.
Right, and Station Frederick is supposed to be on at the end of this week.
Yeah, that's Friday. So Station Frederick is on Friday. Absolutely. So
we got Pharaoh.
Yeah.
From OFC, One Full Circle, based in Montreal, is going to be next week, Monday. Oh, man. Yeah, lots of great conversations going to be happening. So definitely tune in and join us and be part of it live. And again, you get a chance to win some great prizes. We're going to see how to add in the legacy poster.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
So are we going to become the Morning Vibe giveaway? That's what this looks like it's going to be. It's always going to be like Gavin Douglas. Yes. Hey, what is up, my brother? Hey, put in hashtag The Morning Vibe on you're watching on Facebook and press enter. We'd like you to see if you'd like to win either a $25 gift card or a calendar featuring Black businesses. But yeah, we got a pile of things going on over the next few weeks. So we're looking forward to your support. And the best way you can support us is, if you can't watch us live, watch us on replay. And also telling people about the conversation.
Yes, definitely spread the word.
You know, that is the best way. And I think we're going to get ready to do a giveaway. I just wanted to do one other thing quickly. Where is it? All right. So replays. I'm just checking something real quick. Yes, right here. So these are the different platforms. Scrolling on the bottom, you can watch the replays of the conversation.
Nice.
Available at all these platforms. All right. It's time to do a giveaway. All right. Well, people, it's a low number today, so it's going to be good for who wants to win today. So let's get to giveaway time. And If you've won already, do tell us if you either want to gift it, have it and gift it, or do you want to actually or give it away? Yeah, I'd rather you keep it and gift it. All right, we've got one more person entered in. Yes,
Boom.
yes. Who entered in? Gavin Douglas. Yeah, way to go, Gavin. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna do. What do you want to do first, Ryan? The gift card or the calendar?
We'll do the calendar today.
Okay,
Calendar
first up
first.
for the calendar.
Let's see.
Charmaine Hussey. Charmaine, do you want it or do you? She's claiming it, but Charmaine, do you want to gift it or keep it? Type it in the comments. Tell us if you want to gift it. Don't forget the music. Yes. Okay. We won't forget the music.
Yes.
You see, I've got a newer producer. I love my assistant producer. We got some. Yes. Someone likes the background music. So let's do. All right. Let's do the music here. All right. Okay. So Charmaine, you're saying gift it. So do you want to keep it or do you want to give it? Have us draw again. Thank you, Sheraton, about the music. Sorry about that. There's so many things I have to do now, producer, because I got my okay. So she's saying I got my calendar. All right, let's do another giveaway for the calendar. Sophia Jacob.
Love
All
it.
right. So that's fantastic. So Sophia, what you need to do is I'm going to put up the email address. You got to send it. Okay. So Sophia, info@Frequency Event Promotions. Please send an email to that address. Say calendar winner, and they will get that calendar. They'll probably ship it to you, mail it to you, because Sophia is located in the great city of Ottawa, Ontario. So that's fantastic, Sophia. Thank you for your continued support and the great heart work you're doing for Black Canadians in the Ottawa region. All right, next giveaway, gift card. Christopher Lawrence.
Racking it up.
He's racking up. So do you want your gift card, Mr. Lawrence? Tell us.
Who would have want the gift card?
I would. You never make assumptions. You just ask. Right?
That is weird.
But I think he's won before, but hey, can't go wrong with gift cards. And he's in the marketing business. So hey, maybe he can do it as a promotional thing, right? To one of his clients. All right, so Mr. Lawrence, I don't see you answering, so I'm going to go of the understanding that you're going to take that gift card. You know how to get in touch with Ryan Knight, so we're going to leave it at that. Excellent. All right.
So some news just came in.
Oh my.
When you are, hold on, let me see if I can get the...
Let's go to some different music. We're going to do some different music here now. Some news music.
News music. Hold on. Calabash. So just got a message that CIBC is
launching a loan program.
Further launching their Black Community Loan Program. So $15 million loan program that includes business loans up to $250,000, grant component, while non-repayable loan component for Black entrepreneurs, and educational support in partnership with the Black Opportunity Fund and the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see. I don't see a link to apply.
I knew a little bit about that. I knew a little bit about that program. So, and I think, and not even for people who get rejected from other loan applications, they can come to apply for that. You have to have a certain credit score, but there was one part of it that I didn't I was a little bit about, but I can't remember what it is. Well, there was a part that I'm going, I don't know if a lot of people can apply for it, but we'll see. All right. So there you go. Hot off the press.
Yes,
Ryan Knight, media mogul, gets all the hot stuff.
Right.
All right.
We
so
shall
folks,
see.
Thanks for hanging with us today, no matter what period of time it was for. It's appreciated. Whether you're watching us live on the replay, it is appreciated, not taken for granted. What do you have coming up for the rest of the week, Ryan Knight?
So today is the last day to get early bird pricing for the Legacy Symposium. This always happens. Tomorrow, I will get a call from somebody that goes to the event. Right?
Only one?
Maybe at least one.
I'm expecting one a week from now.
At least one where they'll see the new price of $75 for the 2 days and wonder what happened to the $25 price because they are late. So if you want to get or be part of the symposium, it's 2 days of being able to work on your business. You're going to hear the keynote from Dr. George Fraser. The second keynote is Byron Nelson, some excellent workshop facilitators to really, again, work on your business and prepare it for growth and investment. Get it today. You have till, I believe, midnight, $25.
Until midnight.
And because if you're interested, don't pay $75. Get it today. But if you wait till tomorrow or beyond, it'll be $75 instead. So
yeah, well, hey, like Paul Abdul said on one of our albums back in the day, if you don't do it, shut up and dance. You know what I'm saying? Right? And just as we close out, this episode of The Morning Vibe was brought by Keen Real Estate Group and their series coming up, Building Generational Wealth Through Real Estate Series, February 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, online from 7 to 8 p.m. Go to their website, keengroup.ca, for more information. And you can also, I'm just going to put it in here too, if you want to find out more information. You can register at that website address, and also there's their phone number. All right. Jam-packed Monday. Wow.
Awesome conversation.
Awesome conversation. Awesome content. Awesome music. I like this background music.
This one is like exit music. I like that.
Yes, absolutely. This is part of our exit music. And as always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace. And remember, last word here today. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. And also, don't manage your time. Manage your energy. See you on Friday. Be well and keep the faith.